Still watching JoyNews Desk. I am Daniel Dazi. Before we go ahead, like we said earlier, the Supreme Court is set to rule on the fate of the Montie 3, which is a case that came out into the public space some 2 years ago, just before the 2016 election. What happened was that one Nelson, Godwin Akogan, and Sally Fomasi, aka Mugabe, made some statements on air. Now, they made derogatory statements towards the Chief Justice at the time, and then made some insulting statements towards some particular judges. So they were found guilty of contempt by these judges and guilty of contempt of court by these judges. They were sentenced to 4 months in prison. During the 4-month sentence, President Mahama, upon advice from the Council of State, issued a presidential pardon. This was after hundreds, if not thousands, of persons signed a petition asking for mercy asking for mercy for these three. Some of these petitioners included notable persons like then Minister for Education Jaina Nopokwa-Jemai, then Minister for Gender and Social Protection Nano Yelitha, and a number of other notable figures, particularly within the then NDC government. Now, the interesting element of this is that if the court is to currently set aside the presidential pardon, that will mean that these three individuals will have to go back to prison. Now, the person on the right of your screen now is Godwin Akogan, who has just been elected as Deputy Communications Officer for the opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC. This happened in the Congress on Saturday. He was declared officially and sworn in office around 1 a.m. on Monday morning. It's Tuesday, 10 a.m. If this decision should be taken by the court that these persons should go back to prison, that means an elected official of the NDC will be serving jail time. When these persons were simply communicators for the party, hundreds of people signed the petition. In fact, upon their release from prison, there was sort of a mini rally stroke concert at the premises of Montie FM, and speeches were delivered. People spoke in solidarity with them, and they spoke thanking the president profusely. What happens now when an elected official is put in prison? What does that mean for this government and for the national space and for the National Democratic Congress? Remember, when then Deputy General Secretary, who just lost the General Secretary election, Kokwanyu Doho, was picked up by the CID for making some statements concerning the nation and the president, hundreds of people again massed up at the CID headquarters. So the NDC generally does not take it well when the elected officials are put in prison. We wonder what happens with Godwin Akogan. You want to keep your eyes on this space. We will definitely be updating you. Now, of course, court is currently in session, and when something concrete comes out of there, Joseph Akable is standing by for us. He will give us the very latest as soon as we get to you. Hear it here first on JoyNews.